Welcome back. And today we want to look at the actual commandment. Yesterday we set up what God was saying before He gave the commandments, who He was. I'm the Lord your God. I rescued you from the land of Egypt. He's kind of establishing who He is, right, to the people. And remember, He is speaking this to the people. Like that's a very interesting fact that I think we miss sometimes. When you go back and look, it looks like Moses was actually down at the bottom of the mountain with the people, and they are hearing the audible voice of God. And then it is later inscribed on the tablets when Moses goes up on the mountain. So it's a very interesting way that this takes place. So it says, you shall have no other gods before me. So this first commandment flowed from the understanding of who God was and what He had done for Israel. And because of that, nothing came before God. He was the only God to be worshiped and served, right? And in these ancient days, Israel is going to have all kinds of temptations to worship other gods, to have idols, right? We see that with the golden calf, in the very near future. And they got that from Egypt, right? In Egypt, there was a god that was worshipped in the form of a cow. So that golden calf, we understand where that comes from. They would worship Baal later, when you get over into 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st, 2nd Chronicles. That was a major problem. Baal was a god of weather and financial success, so they looked to him for harvests and crops and things like that. So then there was Ashtoreth, was another goddess of fertility and reproduction that they looked to, and there was all these other local deities they dealt with. And we're tempted to worship these same gods, but without the old-fashioned names and images, right? We're tempted in the same way to worship financial success, to worship family, to worship even sexual idols. I mean, you look in our culture and things, that is so apparent that we see as we make people to be these, I'm trying to think of a great way to describe it, these idols themselves, in that people lust after them, right? People put their sexuality out as a way to make money, and it's awful, like, when you look at really what we're doing. And so He's saying here, you shall not have any of these things before me. So, and this doesn't imply, when you look at it, no other gods before me, this doesn't imply that you can have other gods as long as they line up behind the true God. This idea is that there's no other gods. What it means is, to my face. You shall have no other gods before me, to my face. You're not going to have anything else in front of me. Not that you just got to put me at the start. I don't want to see any of it. I don't want any of it around. That's what He's saying. So God is not saying that just add Him to your lives. He's demanding more than that. We don't just add Jesus to our life. We give Him all of our life, right? And so when Israel does this, it becomes idolatry. We are to flee idolatry. So there's an idea that we worship nothing else. We put nothing else before God, before His face. So it's a very interesting way of thinking about it. And yeah, we don't have Baal and golden calves and Ashtaroth today, but I think it's so easy for us to still set up idols. And we'll talk about that some more later. Have a good day.